Good evening, everyone. Welcome to meeting of New Jersey Electric Vehicle Association. Today is Tuesday, September 10th, 2024, and we are starting right now. If you would like to follow us through the deck, you can scan the QR code, and the Google slide deck is available to everyone to view. Our agenda is that I will take you through a report, what's new about our recent events. And then we will have our invited speaker. Our invited speaker is Andrew Pittel, Manager VP Real Estate at Wakefern Food Corporation. And the topic is how ShopRite is installing EV charging stations at all their grocery stores. It's very exciting. And all of them are actually DC fast charging, apparently. We'll see. Andrew will tell us more. Then Mario will give us some website update. And we'll talk about upcoming events and about some exciting stuff like our new branded gears, which includes a t-shirt. So for those of you who are new, I would like to briefly talk about Electric Vehicle Association. We are one of the about 100 chapters, and our mission is to educate and advocate for rapid adoption of electric vehicles. We are not a political organization. EVA was formerly opened as Electric Auto Association in about 1967. So this organization has very long history. And it's North America's largest nonprofit that accelerates the adoption of electric vehicles. Again, there are about 100 chapters, and there are thousands of members as we educate in our communities. We really operate in our communities in local level. So, and we are involved in countless initiatives and projects throughout the US, and the national team coordinates and amplifies many of us for the public to see and experience. So membership updates. We have new members. Please welcome Michael Barbato and Drew Turok. We would like to also thank for renewals. Renewals are Stephen Breyer. And Stephen, actually, he moved outside of New Jersey. He is in Louisiana. So thank you, Stephen, so much for renewing at New Jersey level. Joe Gonzalez, myself, John Linderman, and Gary Mirkin. So thank you for renewing and thank you for joining. We have also very exciting news. We have now third sponsor, and it's at level 2, as we call it, because Signature Detailing New Jersey has recently donated to us. And on top of that, they also provide 10% discount for our members. So that's another good reason why you want to be actually full member. And to join EVA, go to myeva.org and find the information about membership and how to join. It's only $55 a year. Our last meeting was actually in June, and so there was lots of things going on. Some of us were outside of the nation and traveling and having fun. Myself, I was in Czechia. I was driving my 2012 Mitsubishi IMEF, and I experienced breakdown because the DC-DC converter broke, and we had to tow it back home. But the vehicle is now under repair, and we hope that it will be back in business. So I apologize for digressing, but life is full of events. So since our last meeting, which was on June 12th, we had Global Wind Day, which was primarily organized by two organizations, Sierra Club and New Jersey League of Conservation Voters. And it was a very nice event. Me and Dennis, we came, we displayed 2 vehicles. Actually, one of them at the bottom left is from DEP. And the small is smart EV, smart electric drive from Dennis. And so it was a great event. You see the silhouette of New York City in the back. It was in Liberty State Park. So it was a beautiful day. We had lots of good networking. On July 4th, we participated in Montclair Independence Day Parade with Sierra Club. This event was primarily organized by Bill Barron from Sierra Club. And it was very nice event because, and we always were dreaming of doing parade. And one of the missing link was that when we do parade, do people notice that we are parading, right? And so doing parade during Independence Day is actually the best way because people are looking at you. And there were only 4 of us, but very well selected. We had Volkswagen ID4 from a member of Sierra Club, then smart electric drive from Dennis, then myself with Chevy Bolt. And what you don't see on the picture is Rivian R1T from Romy Vreeland. So thank you all who participated. We had also scheduled on August 18th was green fair or street fair in Metuchen, but that was canceled due to the rain, so we don't have it listed here. And on August 24th, that was Saturday, we joined Long Valley for the Green Festival, which was on Saturday evening, and it culminated in fireworks. We were gone by then because fireworks are at dark. But we had very good conversation with people. We had new networks, new connections. And even though there were only 2 of us, and yeah, it would be better if there were more of us, we had very, very good impact. So that's me and Michael Moy with his Lucid Air. Now we are going to switch gears, and I would like to invite our next speaker, but maybe the better way would be if Mario will introduce our next speaker.
Thanks, Stan. So I'm very happy to have Andrew Pittel join us. I met him at the, I guess, unveiling of the supercharger sorry, not the supercharger, the Electrify America station at the ShopRite in Flemington, New Jersey. So I think we connected then, and he was telling me all the great things that ShopRite, which is part of the Wakefern group, are doing to deploy electric vehicle charging stations at their sites. And I thought it would be a great idea to have Andrew join us so that he can share this great news that he has with all of our members. So with that, Andrew, the floor is yours.
Good evening, everybody, and thank you, Mario. Thank you for having me. Yeah, so I work for Wakefern Food Corp. I manage real estate, and I oversee the EV charging initiative, as well as several other areas within the organization. We are a food cooperative. Just to give you a brief understanding of what that is, our stores are family owned by 50 families that are members of the co-op. These families have been part of the Wakefern co-op for many, many years, and they formed the co-op. They basically are our bosses. They own Wakefern. They are Wakefern, and then they have their individual stores. Some have 2, some have 5, some have 40. And they are all involved in the organization, and we are there to support them. So Wakefern has several banners, not just ShopRite. We have ShopRite, PriceRite, Fresh Grocer, Gourmet Garage, Fairway Market, and Dearborn Farm Market in New Jersey as well. We are in the Northeast, and our goal to help support this initiative and be better conscious of the environment as an organization, and to set an example for our customers as well as provide a service for our customers, we wanted to get on board with the EV charging initiative. So we've been doing this now at it for about 3 years, and it's been a long process. It's not as easy as everybody probably thinks. And what I'm going to do, since I assume that most of you, if not all of you, are probably more well-versed in electric vehicles and electric vehicle charging than I am, instead of just, I'll go through my presentation, and the presentation that I put together is basically for the benefit of our members. So I educate them, I meet with them, I go over the presentation, we talk about all different things about the importance of being conscious of electric vehicles and being able to provide this as a service to our customers. Everybody's on board with it. It's very exciting. Everybody's excited. But again, the time that it takes to install or to get through the process can be very long and in some cases arduous. So without further ado, I'm going to share my screen. I believe that's right. Can you see that?
Yes, we can.
Yes.
Great. This cover was 3 years ago when, you know, EV was the future, but the future's here, but it's even more here than it was 3 years ago. And as we all know, it is evolving so quickly, so rapidly that in some cases we become so outdated as quickly as we begin to, you know, get involved in something. So with that, one of the reasons why we chose to, or the structure of our deals is basically like a real estate deal. We lease space in our parking lots to the electric vehicle companies, and they pay us rent for the area and or space. So a parking lot space would be is an area, and grassy areas or areas that are off of the, you know, medians, etc. So we calculate it based on the size of a parking space. So if we are going to end up with 10 charging stalls, it might take 16 spaces or areas to actually create the 10 stalls. And that includes area for the equipment as well as the transformer. So again, we follow the trends. I'm sure you know this better than we do. You know, they said that EV sales will grow, you know, beyond 11 million by 2030. It's exceeded that, you know, those numbers, some of these numbers already. And they're saying in 2026 that it's a tipping point for the acceleration in the EV adoption that will drive automotive electrification trends. And that brings up a good point. The biggest challenge that we have, and I'll touch upon this even later, is educating people on it and getting them to jump on board. And I don't mean the members, I mean the people and maybe town officials and shopping center owners. If we don't own the property, we lease from landlords. We lease from landlords. We, you know, have to go to some of our landlords for approvals to do this work, and it oftentimes is very difficult and very long. So and we end up explaining various things about it, and a lot of people believe in, or they're not as conscious about it as perhaps you guys and we are. And I think it's going to take time, but I think that that's something that can be looked at by whatever organizations in how to, you know, educate and make people become more aware and more efficient in this. And it's not that it's not being done, but it probably can be done even better. They're saying that 1 in 4 new passenger cars sold by 2030 will be sold by 2030. That will be electric vehicles. So it's actually it's pretty amazing to think how fast this is moving. I'm going to skip around here a little bit just so that you probably know all this. Similarly to here, the vehicles now are, you know, 300 miles or more to get. When we first started this, it was 150, and 350 was the top of the heap. And now, you know, it's that it's $350 for the most part with us anyway. We're only doing the DC fast charges, as was said earlier. The reason why we choose to do that is our customers' dwelling time when they go into a store on average is anywhere between 30 and 40 minutes, 45 minutes or so, for them to get a full shop. So they go in, they leave, and then they're able to get almost a full charge within 30 to 45 minutes, if not a full charge, and or just topping off what they have. If we were to go with the level 2s, we'd have people sitting in the parking lots for hours, and that would not be necessarily good for us, but it wouldn't be good for any of the other co-tenants as well, and not fair to other customers. So we made the decision only to do the EV charging the EV DC fast chargers. So, and then here are just some market trends that we go over with our members of the different, types of cars and what type of mileage they're getting. And it's, to us, it's fascinating. We look at this and we're like, oh my God, look at that. It's amazing. And I'm not taking you for granted in the sense that, you live and breathe this. Most of our customers and most of our members do not. So this is new to them as well. We go into with them the different types of charging that, the systems that are available. And now with, most of the manufacturers going to the J3400, it's very interesting because all along for the last few years, we were not going to do deals primarily with Tesla. First, because Tesla was, as you know, proprietary, and we are ShopRite. We're supermarkets. We're all things to everybody. So with that being said, we needed to have a universal charger. So at one point, Tesla was restricting us and said that we couldn't put in any other chargers. So we said, well, then we can't do business with you. Then they came back to us and said that they would, but again, it was proprietary and it excluded too many of our customers, and we really didn't want to be that way. So now we actually can do both. But again, it uses, it takes up a lot of parking spaces and area in order to install these. And in some cases, we are restricted with the number of parking spaces that we have and the area that we have. And in some cases, it would probably create some sort of issue with some of our customers because there might not be enough spaces so that they would just park in there, and then somebody with an EV might come along and it might create some bad will or ill will. So that being said, we're very mindful of how we do it and where we're doing it. And then this is for the benefit of our members, talking about how EV charging at our stores helps to serve our customers. So it's about 89% of EV drivers typically make a purchase when they are charging at a retail location. That's a lot. And in just the past 3 years, we have 6 locations open, actively open at this point, and several more in the works under construction and in line for being in construction. And we have noticed an uptick, a very small one nonetheless, but we still notice an uptick in sales since we've installed some of the EV chargers. Most people will pay more for products from companies committed to social and environmental impact. And the millennials prefer to shop online, but we found that they would come to our stores and shop because we have the EV chargers outside, so it's convenient for them as well. Now, as you know, most people have EV chargers in their garages at home. There's several people, there's a good population of people that do not, that they live in apartment buildings or dwellings that don't have it. So they're happy to come to a ShopRite and shop and charge at the same time. So we satisfy that niche as well. Again, for our members, we just showed different types of cars that are being manufactured, and it shows some sort of positive reinforcement of the future and speaks to where it's going. The market leaders and the companies that we are doing business with, and it's very important for us, and I would assume for you as well, But us as an organization, as a very large company that does several multi-billions of dollars a year in business, we don't want to be in the EV charging business, and we don't want to have issues with vendors. So we actually very carefully screen all of the vendors to make sure that they're financially stable and healthy. So we choose the biggest and considerably some of the best vendors out there. Electrify America, EVgo, and obviously ChargePoint as well are three manufacturers, or vendors, I should say, that we right now are collaborating with and partnering with. So Electrify America, I'm sure you're all familiar with. In fact, in Flemington, New Jersey, where Mario and I met, we put in the Electrify America chargers there. Electrify America, as you know, is owned by Volkswagen. It was born out of the emissions scandal settlement. And they have been a pleasure to work with. Everybody's been truly a pleasure to work with. They're very nice companies, and they are all very eager to please. And in fact, in the middle of our negotiations now, they actually come back to us to ask if they can put in more spaces, more chargers, because of the demand that they're realizing that they're getting from our stores. EVgo, similarly, we have a great relationship with them, and we have several units open with them as well. ChargePoint, as you know, manufacturers, they're also, while they do not own an EV charging component, they stand behind certain charging companies that do that. And so we've worked with them as well, and continue to work with them now. And if by chance a member would like to purchase, we recommend that they use ChargePoint at this point. And by the way, we give our members these options. We've vetted out a lot of different companies, and for various reasons, we've chosen them. And it's easier for us to control the process. With Electrify America, as part of their agreement, as you know, they had to invest $2 billion in EV infrastructure over 10 years. This is a little outdated now, because at this point, it's almost in the 10th year. They do it in cycles. And now it appears that they are working with us in all areas, not just through the cycle. During the first 5 years, Electrify established a charging network that included 17 metro areas, 300 highways, 700 metro sites, and now they have over 800 sites in operation. It's brand neutral, so it's universal for all of our customers. And another thing that was very important to us, if they were level 2s, there would be a slight possibility that we would allow them, the EV charging companies, to tap into the power of our stores, although we did not really want that. So we said no from the beginning. With the EV level 3s, the amount of power that it uses, our stores have as much, if not more, but we're concerned about the future. So we don't want them to use up all of our power, any of our power. It makes sense, since it's a real estate deal, that they should be able to go out and do it on their own. We want nothing to do with it. We don't want to be in your business. We collect our rent every month. You pay the utility company. It's your business. So they tap into the power on the street. They work with the utility companies. They pay their bills directly. They benefit from the customers charging, and they pay us. We also do we're a wholesaler, in case some of you didn't know. We sell food products across the world to various supermarkets and food establishments. There's, as I said, a rental income, and Electrify America would help us. They own it, they operate, and they maintain it completely. We have nothing to do with maintenance. That's an important feature as well. If there's an issue, they have 24 to 48 hours to repair it or replace it. And they have been amazing. Not that we've had any real issues, but so far the vendors have been incredibly helpful. EVgo also, they have approximately over 800 fast charging stations. They're in 66 metropolitan markets. They're very, very large in the West and Midwest. They have a big coverage in California. They're also brand neutral. They separately meter through the power lines through the utility companies, only level 3 charging capacity. Again, we collect rental income and they own, operate, and maintain it as well. And basically, this is the summary. The usage of electric vehicles is more than doubling annually. The charging stations provide an additional amenity to our customers, which is very important to us. Potential increased supermarket sales, which we have seen. There are the apps that are very important, allow all of our customers to, what's even more important than that is that the apps on the phone allow somebody who may be traveling on a highway or traveling from one state to the next or traveling from wherever, and they need to charge. They go on their app, they see that ShopRite has it, they come to our store, and now we've actually just brought in a new customer. We've also found that since our competitors don't have the EV chargers, we've won over some new customers as well. Again, we only do level 3 chargers, and there's no expense to us or to the members whatsoever. And that's my story.
So we can open it up for questions now, and I'll start. Andrew, thank you for the presentation. The question that I have is, do the EV charging companies, do they share any sort of data with you in terms of what is the usage of the EV charging stations? How long do people charge for? Like where do they come from? Are they local drivers? Are they, people just transient, passing by?
So yes and no. So the answer is yes, we do get on a monthly basis, we get a report from each of the vendors showing us the usage and the amount of charging that they're doing, the individuals. We don't know where they're coming from. That is not, I think that's more proprietary for them. I've oftentimes asked, and I'm sure I'll get it at some point, but we haven't gotten it thus far. Anybody else?
I have a question. Thank you, Andrew. Fantastic presentation. How about the employees from ShopRite or general from Wakefern? Do they get a discount when they use the charging station, or they are just considered ordinary, or they are actually discouraged from using the fast charging stations?
They are not discouraged from using the fast charging stations. Nobody gets discounts. We don't get discounts as employees in a ShopRite store either, or any of our banners. We're a price leader for whatever reasons, and we're the price leader supermarket in the Northeast, and so it's not something that we as an organization get as a perk. We get plenty of other perks. I'm not complaining. So the answer is no, the employees do not get a special break, and they're not discouraged either. They are absolutely encouraged. If they have an EV charger, they're more than welcome to charge their car there, just like anybody else would. And we are in the process now of installing EV chargers, which we will own at our offices, at our various corporate office campuses. And those will be level 2s. They will not be level 3s.
We have a question from David Dragonetti. Is there a list of stores that have chargers currently and those that will come in the future?
So I'm happy to tell you which ones have them now. I'm not able to disclose which ones we will be getting them at in the future, but you can be certain that I would say 75% of our stores will all have them at some point.
I think Robert Daly has a question for you.
Yes, thanks, Mario. This was a great presentation. I apologize, I joined a little bit late. I'll save the anecdote for why. But the as a follow-up to the question you just answered, the stores in which you currently are offering high-speed charging, would love to know that. You mentioned in your discussion of Electrify America, if there was an issue, they have their commitment to you is 24 to 48 hours for either response or resolution. So that's part of, I guess, your SLA. And knowing you're not in this business, I'm just curious, how did you put together your contract? How did you decide on different SLA criteria? And the other part of my question is also things like, how did you decide on rental income? That may be proprietary. I'm just curious. But the other part of the question is, you mentioned, hey, the Electrify America, as an example, their app, or the automobiles apps and some of the public apps will direct traffic to your stores. Have you ever considered tying something in with the ShopRite app that I use when I go into my local ShopRite?
Great questions. Okay, if I miss some, you'll let me know. Off the top of my head, ShopRite of Brookdale, which is like Bloomfield.
Mm-hmm.
ShopRite Flemington ShopRite. First State in Wilmington, Delaware. Glassboro, New Jersey ShopRite. And I will get you the other two. My mind it escapes me for a minute. Mm-hmm. The answer as it relates to the legal aspect of the SLAs, we have a very large in-house legal department, and they're very smart, and they're smart enough to know when they don't know something, and we hire outside counsel. So we hired very well-seasoned attorneys from the outside to help negotiate these agreements. It was a tremendous learning experience for me. And yeah, they did a great job. Mm-hmm. As it relates to the app, the Price Plus card, it's very possible that in the future it will be connected in some form or fashion where you might be able to get a promotion. If you charge your car here, it might show up. It'll give you some sort of a discount or an item for free or a coupon on something in the store. We've looked at that, and we have been looking at that. It's something that's in the works, but again, it's a very long process, all of this. Mm-hmm. And so it will take some time, but eventually I think it will happen. Did I get it all?
I'm curious about just a sense for rental income. And do you look at industry standards like what Electrify America pays Target versus what EVgo pays Kings?
We did do research.
Mm-hmm.
Most of Target stores are owned by, the property is owned by Target. Target owns a lot of their units. They also rent, obviously, they make deals with Electrify America or EVgo as well. They're probably getting similar. I'm not sure that they're getting as good of a deal as we are.
Okay, thank you.
Sure.
Andrew, we have a question on the chat regarding the location of the charging stalls within the parking lots. Do you prefer them to be close to the entrance, away from the entrance? Do you work with Electrify America, for example, to decide where they go, or is it really up to them? No,
it's up to us in collaboration with the vendors, with Electrify America or EVgo. I think a big it's a two-part question. A big component is the fact that where the power is coming from. If there's a 200 foot run for an underground conduit from the street to the unit to the chargers, that could be over $1 million just to do that construction. So the closer we can have the chargers to the main power source, the better it is for everybody, especially the EV charging company. And when I say by everybody, if it's too expensive and it's too far, they're not going to put in the chargers for us. So, you know, it's a win-win if we both agree on a convenient location. The front of our stores, generally, the parking spots are reserved for ADA, maternity, things like that. So right in the front, we prefer not to have it. Besides, I think it's more convenient for visibility as well, to have it closer to the main thoroughfare to attract customers so that they know that we have it. So we keep them further away in the parking spot and in the parking lot. And of course, we have to get, in most cases, the approval of the owner, the fee owner of the property, the landlord. While our parking lots are, protected in our leases, where they can't build something in it or block the visibility to our stores per se, they alternatively have to approve what we do as well.
Talking about approvals, what is the average time between when you say, I want to install an EV charging station at XYZ store, and when it actually turns on, when it's available for use?
It's a great question. Thank you. I'm going to use 2 stores as an example. You know, because we're a co-op and because our members are entrenched in their communities, they work in their stores like it's a mom and pop store. They're huge stores, as I'm sure you all know, but they're there. They're in all of their stores every day, and they're using the GCO gun just like the other people that are working there. They have relationships with the utility company. They have relationships with electricians. They have relationships with the town. Oftentimes, they're able to go in and, they know it's for ShopRite. We're generally speaking one of the largest taxpayers in that town. They try to do whatever they can to help us. And that makes a big deal because, truth be told, the process has been incredibly long. Flemington, as an example, it was 3 years from the day we started. And we own, and the owner of that owns that property. So we didn't need to get approval from a landlord. We had to go to zoning. We had to go for building permits for this and that. And they just kept on sending them back to the drawing board because they didn't understand it. Or they didn't understand the importance of it. And perhaps it was also because it was so new in our world that there were no ordinances, nothing written in the books, no laws that they could, at a local level to help, so they had to look at every angle before they would just hand us a permit because there was no familiarity for them. It's not building a pool and they need to have a fence. They don't know what's important and what isn't. But I think they're learning as time goes on. So unfortunately, right now, what we're understanding or what we've experienced, and the EV charging companies on average would agree with us, that it's taking about 6 months, 9 months to a year, 18 months to get it from start to finish in a perfect world. It's a long process.
I have a question related to that. I'm in a company that it's trying to electrify fleet, and can you copy the sentiment that probably the slowest element is the utility because they have to do a power upgrade?
It depends. Power upgrades are not always necessary. It depends if the power is there already, right on the street. When we first started this, COVID hit. Mm-hmm. So that's when everything became, a supply and demand issue. And the utility companies didn't have the transformers. So Brookdale was our first store, Bloomfield, New Jersey. And the utility company worked with us, even though we were, supposedly 6 months away from being able to get a transformer. By some miracle, we were able to get it in a short order because I think our member knew somebody there. It's relationship driven. As it relates to the fleet, we've been looking into that also for our trucks, for our fleet. I'm not directly involved with that. That's more of our logistics department. Where it's very different than what I do, right? It's a whole different ball game. But as it relates to that, there's multiple levels of that, right? Like I forgot what they're called, but we have to have enough for the smaller trucks that pull the cabs, and then for the around the parking lot, and then you need to have them for the actual trailers or the cabs that pull the trailers, and then where do you charge them if you're going from New Jersey to Boston or to New Hampshire? There's not a lot of EV charging options out there quite yet, I don't think, for them.
Thank you. Maybe the last question, unless anybody raises their hand. Laura asked, do you set the rates for the charging? And if so, what is the amount charged that folks pay for the charging?
No, we don't set the rates at all. We don't benefit from that. We don't share in the revenue. We're just we don't want to be in their business, and we don't want to hurt them in any way or prevent them from wanting to do it with us. It's more of an amenity to our customers. I'm not sure what the exact kilowatt price is today. I think it's somewhere maybe 47 to 67 cents, somewhere around that. And I'm sure that they charge way more than that.
Okay, Ken just raised his hand. Ken, go ahead.
Yes, thanks for the presentation. Thanks for doing this work. You actually are probably doing the whole industry a favor by educating your stores and the people and the towns and everything else to get it done. With your vendors that you're working with, it seems like Electrify America, they generally start at about four charging posts or spots. Are you seeing that as a typical number, or do you see them? You mentioned that sometimes they want to put more spots in as they see things grow. What sort of numbers of posts are you looking at for your new installations?
When we first started, it was 4 to 6, and now it's 10 plus EV ready, plus maybe another 4. They run the conduit underground, and they leave it there for the future growth. So additional 4, additional 5. The law in New Jersey recently that has come into play, which is a great one, for any new development, you need to have
4%, no?
4% of your parking lot, of the parking spaces, need to be EV. We are in the process of building a new store in West Caldwell, New Jersey, and we will have 20 spaces, 10 ready, EV ready, underground with a conduit, and 10 fully charged, fully built. And they will open up with our store in sometime in 25.
Fantastic.
Yeah, thanks. Joanna, you get the last question. I know we can probably stay here all night, but I'm sure Andrew wants to go back.
Thank you. I just had a very quick question regarding incentives. I'm also in New Jersey, and we just installed our very first charger and purchased our very first electric vehicle. So I just wanted to know, like, what your experience has been with incentives, especially with either the electric company or just New Jersey Clean Energy in general.
So there are not a lot of incentives for the DC fast chargers. The incentives are more for the level 2s. There is some, for homes, for people, the slower, the level 2 chargers. There is what's called NJEVA funding now, which is grant money that's available through the federal government that has been now directed, or in the last year or so, directed through the state level. When it was the federal level, I think it might have been more cumbersome. And now, because at the state level, it's a little easier for them to distribute or award it. The problem with that is not everybody gets it. So the electric vehicle company charger will come to us and say, we really want that location. Would you mind if we apply for NJEVA funding? And my response is always, well, I don't mind if you apply for the NJEVA funding, but what if you don't get it awarded? Does that mean I'm out of luck and I'm not getting chargers? So I need you to put in writing that you're going to, regardless of whether you get the money or not, you're still going to install the chargers for me. It doesn't happen often. The reason why they want to do it is because they're not really offering those dollars in the most high traffic, greatest areas. You'd be surprised, actually. They're in areas where you doubt that there would be any people that could afford EV chargers or electric vehicles. But nonetheless, they're thinking for the future, I suppose. So we have not had any awarded to our vendors for our locations. We have agreed to do some of it, and hopefully they'll win.
Thank you.
Sure.
Very good. So thank you so much, Andrew. You are more than welcome to stay. And now we'll go to the next part of our schedule. Mario, can you give us update about our website?
Sure. Let me pick the right screen here. Let me know if you can see my screen.
Yes.
All right, great. So what we have done is revamped our website, the New Jersey Electric Vehicle Association website. We also changed platforms that gave us a couple benefits. One is lower costs, higher performance. I don't know if you've visited the website, but it's a little bit quicker, and also a little bit more flexibility as to what we can do with a website. So if you haven't gone to the website in the past few months, I welcome you to go to jerseyeva.org. This is what it looks like. We do have a quote here of a member. And if you want to be highlighted in this area, feel free to send us a quote as to why you became a New Jersey EVA member. The plan is to cycle through this every couple of months. So right now we have Sarah's quote here. So thank you, Sarah. We also have an opportunity for people to join, obviously, the New Jersey EVA. And then on the bottom here, we thank our sponsors. So as of today, September 10th, we have 3 sponsors, Yoka, Chevy of Princeton, GSE, and like Stan said, Signature Detailing that is giving 10% discount to all New Jersey EVA members. So we have a couple tabs on the top here about us. It basically just goes through a little bit of the history and then who are the officers. Events is where we have all our events listed. You can either see this in a month view, or you can also change it to a list view. If you look at the website on your mobile phone, it will automatically default to list view. You can click on this and then you will see additional information as well as being able to add it to your own calendar. And you also get to see the map of those locations. Pictures, we just have a few pictures highlighted here of previous events that we have done. Incentives, we are staying on top of this as the incentives change regularly. Here, what we have listed are the residential incentives. So here you can see the federal incentives, the New Jersey state incentives, and then the different utility incentives. Just as a quick reminder, the federal incentive is $7,500 for new EVs, $4,000 for used EVs if they're under $25,000. And also you can get up to $1,000 tax credit of 30% of the cost, up to $1,000 for your EV charging station at home. And the state, this was actually just changed today. I haven't had a chance to update the website, but now the New Jersey Charge Up Plus program has come out, so it's up to $4,000. $2,000 is given to EVs that are under $55,000, and then based on your family income or your personal income, I believe the family is $150,000 or less per year, you get an additional $2,000. So you can get $7,500 from the federal, up to $4,000 from the state. New Jersey also has up to $250 for your EV charging station for the purchase of the unit. And then on the right side here, we have the utilities. They also provide funding to help you get your charging station set up. We have here PSE&G, ACE, Atlantic City, Rockland Electric, and then JCP&L that run out of their funding. Last year, they just re-upped their program, so it's live again. If you're in the JCP&L territory, they are providing again up to $1,500 towards the installation of your EV charging stations. And then if you want more information, you can just click on the links on the bottom here, and it will take you straight to the page where you can find additional information about those incentives. New Jersey EV legislation. So these are sort of like the most important EV legislations that New Jersey have. I know Andrew touched on one of them. We have here the statewide ordinance allowing EV charging station installations. Basically, is the ordinance saying that your town cannot deny you the ability to install an EV charging station. We have the law governing EV charging stations on HOA communities. And then we have links here to the actual text. So if you live in an HOA and your HOA is giving you a hard time, you can print this out and then you can show it to them exactly what they are allowed and not allowed to do. Also the requirements of EV charging stations on new homes. And then lastly, here we have the New Jersey EV goals. This is back from 2019. Then if we go up to the right, to the top, sponsor the New Jersey EVA. So these are our different sponsorship levels. Level 1 is $500. A level 2 sponsor is $1,000. And then a DCFC sponsor is $2,000. I won't bore you with all the different things that the sponsors get, but you can see it here. And it does the benefits for the sponsors increases as they increase their membership level. And then lastly, if you want to sign up for our newsletter, we have this page here where you put in your email address, first name, last name. The chapter name is automatically added, and then your zip code. And so you can start receiving our newsletters going forward. So with that, I see Joanna has a question.
Yeah, I just had a quick question regarding the incentives. Can you apply to multiple incentives like the federal and the state and the utilities, or is it recommended to only do one?
Absolutely, you can apply to all of them.
Awesome.
You can stack them on top of each other.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
As a matter of fact, let me pitch in some respect, they're complementary. The BPU, Board of Public Utilities, they have incentive. They have a round of incentives for multi-unit dwelling, which covers the hardware, and the utility has the incentive to cover the labor part and the upgrade of the power. So in that way, this system is very popular, and lots of existing multi-unit dwellings that are not covered under the mandate, they had funding to install level 2 charging stations for their residents.
My apologies. Could you provide that name one more again, Stan?
You mean the agencies?
Yeah, the one that you were just talking about.
Board of Public Utilities.
Thank you.
BPU .gov, I guess. But it should be actually listed somewhere there and on our website. And then the utilities is wherever you are in your territory, you would click on our website, and the link that is on our website is for residential, and somewhere nearby are all other similar incentives.
We have a question on the chat from Alex. Do we still have the incentives on EasyPass? Yes, we do. If you own an EV, you can create a ticket with New Jersey EasyPass right on their website. What you have to do is upload a copy of your registration showing that you own an EV, and then request to be put in the Green Pass plan. What that will get you is 10% of off-peak prices on the Turnpike and the Parkway, I believe.
And off-peak, right? And off-peak is when you,
Yes.
weekend is peak, of course, on Turnpike. But actually, I opened up the discount on EasyPass only this January because I didn't need it. But Mario, correct me if I'm wrong. I found in rules that you have to make physical copy and mail it physically. Uploading is not an option.
You can actually do it all online.
Huh.
Yep. If you log into your EasyPass account, it's not easy to find. There's like some top right, you can go to contact customer service. And then in the type of request that you're doing, there's a plans option. And then you can attach a copy of your registration there. And then it usually takes like 2 days turnaround time.
Okay.
And
Okay.
you don't need to get a new transporter. They just changed your account.
Correct.
So
correct.
you can
Yeah.
keep your transporter.
Yeah. So that is news for me, because if you read the rules, they're asking you to mail copy and with accompanying letter, of course, because you have to tell them account number and stuff. So this is very good news. And just for information, you may have EasyPass under different agencies. The one that Mario was talking about, it was the New Jersey EasyPass. You can actually have Port Authority, which is under New York. And the thing is that the discounts are different. So the New Jersey Pass will give you 10% off peak on Turnpike and Garden State Parkway. And the New York based will give you discount. Now, I don't know whether it's 10% or what, but it's a New York State Thruway and bridge crossing between New York and New Jersey, also off peak only. When my family moved to New Jersey, we moved from New York, and we were carrying New York EasyPass, and we didn't apply for New Jersey until this January. Again, because the frequency at which we would be using the off-peak with electric vehicle was unlikely until I changed job last December. So it's a personal story, but that's how we learn and have experiences. Any other questions? Okay, Mario, thank you so much for updating our website and for making it so good looking and fascinating. And adding all those incentives and the forms like for subscription, what we would normally have, we would have a link to the national website where you would be doing subscription, and when you add the zip code, you would be automatically routed to New Jersey EVA. And now, Mario, thank you so much. You put it together. Mario is expert in IT, so there you go. Now, let's go to the next topic, which is the National Drive Electric Week. And here is the list. And as usual, we are looking for volunteers. We need more electric vehicles. We need wide variety of models and brands. Some events are actually not EV shows. So let me start from top. The SIWA International Environmental Stewardship event is indoor, and it will be just me and Dennis. We are going to have some poster. If you are interested to join us indoors, please contact us. Greenfest Newark will be on Saturday, September 21st, and we will have 3 shows. We are primary organizers for the Greenfest Newark and Drive Electric Week West Windsor. West Windsor is Andy Samsu. We are co-organizer for the Chatham Sustainability Fair and EV Expo, which is early morning. For some of you, you might be able to make 2 events. Then the next weekend, Saturday, September 28th, we will have Highlands Green Fair and EV Show in Clinton. This will be organized by Mario Caballero. The next day, on Sunday, September 29th, we will have Huntington Land Trust National Drive Electric Week. It is in Flemington, very near Clinton. Then on October 1st, it's Tuesday, our dear friend, Mike Hornsby, expert in firefighters and first responder training. He will run electric vehicle awareness for firefighters in Princeton Junction, which is actually a follow-up because he was doing, or we were doing the training there a couple of years ago, and they have unfortunately experienced with EV fire lately.
Hey, Stan, I have a question about that one.
Yes.
Is that one registered on National Drive Electric Week?
It is. It is labeled as private.
So you can't find it if you're searching for events.
I didn't look thoroughly, but we have it linked on this deck. We have it satellited on our calendar, and we need people to register to bring electric vehicles. It's private in a sense that nobody who is outside of the firefighter circles, I mean, from the Princeton Junction specific firehouse, they cannot just pop up and say, I want to get trained, I want to get awareness and stuff, you know. So what we have as a advice that they need to contact the fire engine if they want to be there. But I would say this is rather exception. It's really exclusively for those members.
Mm-hmm. It's kind of a shame because we have so much success getting a good variety of vehicles in for this. and there are a lot of people. I mean, it would be a great event for people who just in the general public. You know what I mean?
Of course, yes. Yeah, but yeah, we want to make sure that we do have variety. We have space for 20 vehicles, 24 vehicles. Yeah, all those details listed. Yes.
Yeah, I put the link for the sign up on the chat, and also it's listed on our website as well. You can get to that and view link from our calendar and the website.
Okay, very good. October 5th, Saturday, we have National Drive Electric Week at Westfield. It is primarily organized by local green team, and they have done it previously, so it's going to be a good show. And they will also offer pizza. Okay. Somerville, October 6th. It is our second show. Last year, it was very successful. So please sign up. And then the last one is also indoor, and it's presentation, thinking about EVs, get your questions answered. We were invited by Plainsboro Library. So we have it listed, but in this case, it's public in the sense that we want to get audiences. You are welcome to join us. You're welcome to tell your non-EV friends to sign up and to come. Mario will be presenting. Andy is pinned to be the second speaker. So, and now drum rolls, okay? The reason we are saying that we want you to come to these events is because we have new perks. Okay, on the next slide, sorry. So this is just to remind you that we have events on our website, which Mario already presented, and you can also have our calendar on your own devices. When you scan these QR codes, depends on what you have, Android or iPhone, you can actually populate NJEVA calendar into your personal calendar. Okay, now is the drum roll, and we have new swag, new gears coming up. On the left side, we have static clinks. They will be good for the vehicle. You can stick it on the inside of the windshield of the window. The custom magnets, if your vehicle has magnetic parts, and this time they will be round. Previously, we used to have rectangular. Very exciting. And the rectangle stickers, they will be not for vehicle, right? You can see the size 2.4 times 2.1 inches. They will be for bottles, for water bottles, or anything else that you may choose. And the best part are the free NJEVA t-shirts. We have looked into various vendors, and we found one that appeared to be the best. Well, so far. We'll see. It will have nice our logo in the front as well as pocket, and in the back it will have ask about my EV statement as well as logos of our sponsors. The base color of the shirt is navy blue, and it should match the polo shirts that some of us have with the national EVA logo. So now we'll be kind of split. Some of us will be wearing the national t-shirts. I might be jealous if I don't grab the our NJEVA shirt. It is high quality, 100% cotton, and we want to give it to those who will actually physically show up to our events. So, and first come, first serve. We may not have all of them available at all events. We will probably have like maybe 10 or 20 available per event. And we are expecting, guys, that when you get the shirt, that you will be using it and reusing it for the following shows. We are not making it as a requirement. We are aware that some people will be attracted just for one-time event, one-time show just to get the shirt, but that's the life. And we actually have more money because of we are fortunate to have 3 sponsors, and if need be, we can order more. So that's the story about the swag. And our next meeting will be hopefully next month on October 8th. It is the second Tuesday of a month at 7 p.m. the same time. And we are just contemplating that maybe we'll have signature detailing, but it's just, thought. We have to run it with them, of course. So I think that's it for today. Questions? Thank you so much. I'm going to stop the recording now.